The menstrual shit demon is a thing. Taking a dump on your period is legit one of the most uncomfortable and almost unbearable feelings ever. I'm sure a lot of women go through this too. You wake up from your nap with a sheen of perspiration and immediately feel your stomach ache. You think to yourself, is it my cramps or do I have to take a dump? No, I definitely should go and take a dump. May the force me with me. Then you are in war zone once you're in that washroom. Cramps, shit, and heat. I feel like while taking a dump, since there is more pressure in your bowel, the cramps get worse. Until you're finished, and that sudden great increase in cramps makes you feel suffocated in the washroom. Breaking out in a sweat, fearing that you will pass out from the heat and cramps in the washroom while shitting. You finally finish the battle and realize your bowel movement was an awfully soft texture than usual. You don't waste time and wash your hand at least 3 times for the next 7 minutes BC. You're a bigger paranoid germaphobe on your cycles. Then you proceed to sit in your room and run in your fan and recover and cool your body down from that war you just fought. You forgot to mention the clots you pass while taking the dump from hell. Ugh. I hate that squishy feeling. Period poops. Sometimes they're the most satisfying poops. Sometimes it's literally releasing demons from your body. It's a roll of the dice what you get every month. Don't forget when you fart while wearing a pad. The expelled takes a trail through the blood on your skin and pad, moving forward and forming an air bubble that tries to escape into your urethra. Or when you partially poop out the tampon and have to replace it, woozy face. I get horrible cramps after bearing down to poop. I need to push super gently or wait for it to fall out, sleepy and wiping after the blood that migrates to your butt tack. Ugh, it makes me feel dirty. How did people get through this without plumbing, lol? And also really hope you didn't somehow get poop on the tampon string. Hooray for prostaglandins s, they cause smooth muscle to contract. And guess what smooth muscle is right by the uterus? Upside down face, upside down face. My child finally learned to give me potty privacy after barging in and seeing the aftermath. Will this ever happen to me? Oh yes, my darling. You too will one day become used to the blood clot poop toilet cramp fest. Sorry. Crony here. Can we much second this utter agony to just move sometimes. It's just to sit on the loo for 3 hours. While my legs get progressively more numb. And do everything I can to just not pass out. Kind of day. In those situations I have to be completely naked with my hair tied up. Why? The way you describe menstruation. One could almost think it's more than the minor inconvenience and excuse men know that it really is. Okay, maybe I'm just lucky, but my period makes pooping more comfortable. Don't execute me, but you know those clinical trials where you can send in your healthy poop and they take bacteria or whatever from it to transplant into people with unhealthy poop. Poops on my period feel like that. They're literally perfect. And then my cramps always get a little better when I'm done. However, no matter what I do, the first 2 days of my period are usually lying in agony. I have almost passed out from the pain of pooping on my period. One thing I find that helps is propping up my legs on something so I'm in more of a squat position on the toilet. There's one poop to top this nightmare. The right after vaginal birth poop. There are no words. I always called it blood and guts. I sort of like a period poo because it helps clear out the system after snacking a bunch from PMS. But once I wore Spanx and had the period poops, and that was a pain. Every man alive needs to see this post. Sending postmenopausal crone hugs. You forgot the nausea and sometimes throwing up and shitting at the same time. Or if you use a cup, trying to balance pushing out the shit but not pushing out the cup into the toilet. And if the cup starts to come out, going oh fuck 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 whilst swiftly maneuvering to catching and not make a mess involving any bodily byproduct of any sort. Fun times. This month's period, on the first day I crapped 7 times while at work. All horrible diarrhea. I timed myself once and I was in there nearly a half hour. There is just something about the period shits that is so horrid and painful for both my stomach and butthole. This happens every period for me. I got told I can't just be leaving meetings. Little did they know a war was going on in the bathroom between me and the toilet. The cold sweat and the lightheadedness, the pain and nausea, the emotional trauma of being out of control of your body. I usually have to take a long nap afterward to recover. This post is so ironic to me cause I was cursed with the period shits at work Friday, loudly crying, loudly crying, loudly crying. And since I was at work, I could not dedicate the time I truly needed to finish. People kept coming in the bathroom and I did not want to be gone too long. OMG, doctors have looked at me like I was crazy when I've described these episodes, though not so eloquently as you lol. Like I'm burning from the inside. I strip down because I'm overheating and doing frickin' Lamar's breathing and fanning myself. Period shits combined with IBSD just isn't fair. If my period triggers a flare, I'm guaranteed to be crying on the toilet, sweating and asking the universe what I did to deserve this hell. It's the same feeling as what I imagine those fast for a week juice cleanses must be on the last day. Masochistic maybe, but I kind of not like it, but I appreciate the process. Like my body has decided that along with my uterine lining, my bowels must be cleansed as well. The demons will flee my body with the force of 1,000 suns. And as soon as this hated week ends, my life can begin anew. Until next month, whenever it decides to happen again. I've never been regular. This happens when it wants to. I call it blood, shit and tears. It happens for me on day 1 too without fail. Oh. You forgot the blarts. Farts that loudly bubble through the blood on your pad, making it sound like you're continually shitting yourself. Men talk about sometimes having to strip naked to poo. The only time I've had that happen was with period poops with absurd hot flashes and not being able to handle anything touching me anywhere. When you're shitting and a string of blood, long English to touch the water, is hanging there weary. The good ol' PB jelly period poops I got from bloated, gassy, and constipated to all hell breaks loose. Highly recommend a bidet. About $20, $40, easy to install. Some even come with a lady angle. If God exists, he's an asshole. I'm literally experiencing this right now, loudly crying. Send some prayers my way, smiling face with tear. Sometimes my period poops are so bad I have to shower worse than the swampy feeling of blood, shit, piss, and sweat all over your nethers. Can I just say, when they say you might poop giving birth, pregnant woman, I can see this after one of these poop menstruation ones. I have them most time, but because I have IBS I don't get to much backed up. I have been told more water, sweat droplets is needed in these times. I love women so much, OMG we are awesome, thank you for the cry laughing in the middle of the night.